So what this does is creates a state for you. And this state occurs whenever it starts or a state is changed. Now this is triggered automatically by your view. The plugin has generated code for this to happen correctly. So you don't have to think anymore about how this is going to happen. It is going to happen on every FSM that has an event called state changed that belongs to this game object. Now uFrame also generates a action for you, which is a very easy to use enumeration compare action, if you will. And it basically just grabs all of your enum values and allows you to have events based off of a variable. So it already added our state variable whenever we created the FSM. There's no special black box to this. It's literally just the name and the correct type. Everything else will work, so you could even do it manually if you wanted to. And same with the events. The state changed. It added this one because we clicked on that property, and it knows the name of the binding event that happens whenever the value changes. So it'd be just whatever the variable name is changed. Again, no black box here. So then it just goes ahead and takes the liberty of setting it up for you. So now we're going to run this, but first we need to go up to our game manager and set our scene manager in the start here. This is just so that the scene knows how to boot up, if you will. Alright, so back to our box view. So if we go up and run it, you'll see that right off it transitioned into the idle state. If we went over here and initialize the view model with upgrading, you'll see that it jumps right into upgrading. So now let's do something to make this automatic. So on this upgrade, let's just go into our controller and override our upgrade. And let's say upgradable box state equals upgrading. Switch back, wait for it to compile. Let's move our initial state back to idle. Run it. Now one of the nice new features in 1.3 is now all of your commands show up in your views in the inspector. So we can invoke any of those commands automatically. So I'm just going to click on the upgrade, and you'll see it nicely transitions into the upgrading state. Alright, let's stop that. Alright, so we're going to go a little bit farther with this and open up our controller. And we are going to keep this line here, but we're also going to add upgradable box dot upgrade complete time equals date time dot UTC now add new time span, and we'll set it to 0, 0, 0, and we'll do 3 seconds. Alright, so here we're just setting our upgrade complete time to 3 seconds from now. So what I'm going to do is override the tick command that we created. And here I'm just going to do if datetime.utc now is greater than or equal to PlayMaker element upgradable box dot upgrade complete time. Then if it is, I'm going to say PlayMaker element, and I keep calling it PlayMaker element, but I really mean upgradable box dot state equals idle, upgradable box, and we're just going to increment the level up 1. Now obviously this is just a basic example. If you want an actual upgrading system, you're probably going to do a lot more checks. And also on the initialize upgradable box, I'm going to go ahead and just call this tick upgradable box. And this is just good because if you ever decide to like load something from a file or something, in this case when you upgrade something, it can still be upgrading while you're offline, which is why we're using UTC now. So when it loads, we want to tick and go ahead and apply any upgrades for the upgrade complete time if the time is already passed. Alright, so let's switch back here. So now obviously when the game is running, we want to keep the user updated on its upgrade status, and for upgrades to automatically apply so you don't have to manually call tick. So that's what we're going to do whenever we're in this upgrading state right here. So I'm just going to right click, go and add finished. And we're just going to make this loop back whenever it completes. And I'm going to add in the action browser, I'm going to add a wait. And I think I added 2 on accident. Finish event, mark that under finished. And now we're going to, another thing that uFrame generates for you is invokers for each one of these commands. So what I'm going to do is the tick, just type in tick, and it'll be execute upgradable box tick. And that's just the name of our box and then our command name, tick. So double click on that. And there we go. So now every 1 second it is going to go through this finished and call the tick again. So let's run that. Click on our upgrade. Now you can see it went into the idle state. So now what we're going to do is create another FSM, but this isn't going to necessarily be an event on the FSM as far as uFrame events. What we're going to do is create an FSM on the actual cube, and we're going to go to events and let's add a mouse down. Let's add that to here. Add another state. Add the finished. Let's link these 2 up. We'll just call this upgrade. And we'll call this wait for interaction. And in our upgrade, under the state, we'll type in upgrade. And we'll say upgradable box upgrade. Now for this action, we're going to have to specify the view because this FSM doesn't live on the view. So we can just drag that down. And there we go. So now we don't have to use the buttons over here anymore. It helped us at the beginning, but now eventually you want to make it interactable on its own. So we click on it. You can see it went back into the idle state, and our current level is 3. Now there's a lot we can do with this. We could, under the upgrading, do a GUI label, which hovers directly above this and shows the level. We can also apply any visual effects, or we can also apply how it appears. Or if we have, 10 different cubes and at each level another cube appears, we could apply that logic here. All we'd have to do Let's go to current level, create FSM on selection, and now we have the apply current level. And we have the variable that we can compare against to know what the current level is and do any transforms, changes to the scene as we need. Thank you for watching.